Hi guys, and welcome back to another video Gaming with Powers. I'm Jake, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through a solo playthrough of Casting Shadows, the brand new Kickstarter game from Unstable Games. So this campaign, guys, was massive, raising over $4 million, over 30,000 backers for this new game. Look, before we get into the playthrough, guys, I just want to give them a huge shout out because they were able to fulfill this game 2 months earlier than anticipated. So this game was supposed to be fulfilled in March and towards the beginning of April. They ended up fulfilling this game starting in the beginning of January and finishing up in the beginning, basically finishing up at the end of February. Or the end of January, I'm sorry. And so just a big shout out to them. You know, anytime you're dealing with a Kickstarter project, you know, there's always that, more than not, there will be delays to your projects. And so for them to have a campaign this big with over 30,000 backers, to be able to get that early is a huge accomplishment for them. So I just want to give them a quick shout out. But let's go ahead and go to the table, guys, where I got everything set up, and I'll show you how to play. Okay, guys, so we have everything set up here for a solo playthrough of Casting Shadows. Just a couple things I wanted to go through before we actually get into the playthrough, guys. The first thing is that there really is no official solo mode in the rulebook, okay? The solo mode is kind of the community asked for a solo mode during the campaign, and so Unstable kind of made a quick one-shot that they sent in a PDF. And so you can go on BGG or just type in Casting Shadows solo mode in order to pull this up. There's been a lot of people who have graciously posted the PDF for you on BGG. But this is called shadow boxing, okay? So again, this game was not designed to be played as a solo game. So, you know, throughout the course of this solo mode, I'm sure you're going to see a lot of things that are going to need tweaking, or it might just not be that good of an experience. So just kind of wanted to make you guys, give you a PSA about that, just to be aware. The second thing, guys, is a lot of the components you're looking at here today are the deluxe version of the game. We back the collectors all in pledge, and so some of these deluxeified components are the game mat itself, right? Of course, the vinyl figures right here that are on the board and over here to the side, the card sleeves right here, and then the cool little dice tower that we have right here to us, all right? And then the game board itself, okay? The actual player boards are nice. They will actually come like this in the base version of the game. That is not a deluxe component. But everything else in the cards are the same, guys. But everything else that you see here on the table, guys, is deluxeified in a collector's version. There was also, instead of a vinyl version, cheaper version that you could get was acrylic standees instead, all right? The hex tiles, these will be the exact hex tiles that you will get in the base game. And then, of course, instead of vinyl figurines, you will have little meeples. And so I'm going to go ahead and show you a couple meeples real quick. Okay, guys, so here are a few meeples that they would look like in the base game, right? So here's some base meeples. And then here would be the upgraded, or this is another base meeple. So these would be the base meeples here. And then these would be the shadow form meeples, the base version, and then the shadow form version of them. So these are what the meeples will look like in the game. A very still good, cool looking quality meeple, all right? Okay, so we are ready to play Shadow Boxing, the solo mode of Casting Shadows. So how this mode is going to work, guys, I am trying to knock out these 3 bots, and I'm trying to make sure I don't get knocked out. So I'm starting with 18 health, and they are starting with 6 health, okay? And then let's go ahead and jump right in, and I'll kind of walk you through how turns go. So the first thing you're going to do when it's your turn, guys, you're going to go ahead and roll some dice. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in the dice tower here. So let's see what I got, okay? These are going to be your resources. So these are going to be the resources that I will be able to spend on my turn. So I have 2 cursed crystals, 2 gems, and an orb, okay? So on your turn, guys, you get to spend 4 action points. There's 6 different actions, and each one of these actions will cost you an action point, okay? The first thing that you can do, guys, is move. So you can move to a hex that is adjacent to you for 1 action point. Okay, so the next thing you can do, guys, is collect a spell card. So you can only collect spell cards that are adjacent to the hex, right? So for right now, standing here, I can only collect the magma hand. If I wanted to get the bubble trouble spell, I would have to move to this tile to be able to collect it, all right? And so in order to collect that card, guys, you will need to pay the resources that are on the left-hand side of the card. Sometimes it's just resources from your dice. Other times it's going to ask you to give up one of your level 1 spell cards. So for example here, we have Magma Hand, which is a very powerful spell card. I need to give up or destroy one of my level 1 spells, as well as a red orb, a shadow fragment, and any color of a gem. Okay, once I pay those resources, I'll then be able to take that Magma Hand card into my spell book, which you can only hold 5 spells in your spell book. Then I will replace that card from the top of the deck. So that is collecting a spell. You can also collect resource cards, which you would just take this for free. It doesn't cost any resources, and then you could spend this card to get that resource into your pool. Okay, the next thing, guys, you can do is refresh cards that are next to your hex tile. So let's say I didn't want this Magma Hand card. I would send that card to the discard pile, and I would just take another top card from the deck and put it there, refreshing that card. The next thing you can do, guys, is re-roll any of your dice that are not cursed crystals. So if I don't like any of these resources, I can go ahead and re-roll them in order to try and get better resources. The next thing I can do is protect. And so whenever you roll a cursed crystal, guys, if these are still in your resource pool at the end of your turn, you will take 1 damage. But by protecting yourself, it will remove 1 resource crystal from the pool, so you will not take damage at the end of the turn. The last thing you can do, guys, is cast a spell. So on the spell card, guys, like I said, the resources to buy the spell are on the left-hand side of the card. In the upper right-hand corner is the level of the spell. The bottom right-hand corner is the range of that spell. And then the text down here below will tell you the resources that you need to spend and how much damage the spell will do. So for example, if I wanted to activate Spectral Slap, I need to spend 1 red gem and 1 blue gem to deal 3 damage to a hex tile within my range. Okay, those are the 6 available actions to you on your turn. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue with my turn. So the first thing I'm going to do, guys, and spells can only be activated once per turn. So I'm going to go ahead and spend one of my spells, which is the Curse of Void, to turn one of my crystals into a 1 gem of my choosing. So I'm going to turn it into a blue gem, okay? And then I'm going to use my second action to protect myself and remove that cursed crystal from my pool. Okay, let's see here. Let's see, I got 2 actions left. I think what I'm going to do is spend a red gem and a blue gem to activate Spectral Slap. So I can deal 3 damage to any guys that is in this range right here in front of me. And so I am going to slap Mr. Tusk Swift Wave. And actually, really quick, guys, I didn't talk about who I'm playing and who we're going against. So I'm going to take that opportunity to do that now. So I'm playing as Nuzzle Thornwood, the cute little wolf. Here's his little vinyl figurine. He is from the base game. I will be going against Tusk Swiftwave, a little narwhal here. He was a Kickstarter stretch goal. I'm also going against Talon Lightfeather, a cute little griffin. He is one of the expansion characters from the 5-player expansion. And then I have Lucky Skipper. He was the unicorn. He was a Kickstarter exclusive add-on that you could buy separately, or if you backed another unstable game, you got him for free, okay? But I'm going to go ahead and Spectral Slap Mr. Tusk Swiftwave for 3 damage. You know, smacking him in the face. He looks so nice, so hopefully I don't anger him. And then I have a purple gem and a blue. So that was 3 actions. I have 1 action left. I think what I'm going to do is I will move... I think I'm going to move to that tile for my 4th action, okay? And then, guys, what's going to happen here is all of these tiles that you have are going to have certain effects, okay? And so there is a reference sheet here. And so sometimes when you start your turn on a tile or end your turn on a tile, you will activate some of these effects, or when you do damage. So, for example, this magma tile, guys, if I start my turn on that tile, I will take a shadow fragment token and add it to my resource pool. Okay, for the tile I was on, I actually should have taken a red orb from the resource pile and added it to my pool, but there's nothing I could do with it, so I just decided to ignore it for now. So I apologize for that mistake. that was there. Okay, so that is my turn. Okay, I've taken my 4 actions, right? I used my Curse Void, my Spectral Slap, I protected myself, and then I went ahead and moved. So now we're going to go to the bots, guys. So the bots will only have 2 possible actions that they can take. They can either cast a spell or they can move, okay? And depending on what you roll is depending on what they will do. So the bot with the Fatal Fronds spell card will always go first, so that is Tusk Swift Wave. So let's go ahead and roll some dice for Mr. Tusk Swift Wave. Okay, so he has an orb, a shadow fragment, another orb, he has and 2 gems, okay? So any gems that they roll, guys, you will look at their spell card to see if they can cast a spell. For every 2 orbs that they roll, you will go ahead and move him 1 space towards the character. And then for the shadow fragments, at the end of the turn, they will gain 1 health. And then I've added this into the solo mode because currently, again, guys, remember, this solo mode, there was no official solo mode for the game. This game is not meant to be played solo. So they kind of, I feel like they rushed through the solo mode a little bit, and this does need some improvements. But one of the improvements I decided to make was originally there was no way to upgrade the bot characters that you're fighting. Because with the shadow fragments, it would just allow them to gain health. So the change that I've made, my house rule, is that whenever they roll a shadow fragment, they will also get shadow energy at the end of their turn, which will enable them to transform into their shadow mode, evolve into their shadow form, okay? This just kind of adds a little more thematicness to the game because I don't think it's very fair that I'll be able to transform into my shadow form and they won't, okay? So he cannot activate his spell because it has the enemy on the current hex tile. He will move, though, 1 space closer to me, so I'll move him there. And then it is the end of his turn, so he will gain 1 shadow energy, and he will also gain 1 health. All right? So then we'll just move in clockwise order, so we'll go to Talon Light Feather, guys. So let's see what Talon is doing. So Talon is rolling 2 gems. He's got 2 orbs. Right there, and then he's got a Cursed Crystal, okay? So he's going to use his 2 orbs first to go ahead and move. So he'll move 1 spot closer to me. Oh, they're ganging up on me. And then his 2 gems. What does this say? It says spend 2 blue gems to deal 2 damage or 4 blue gems to deal 4 damage to an enemy within range, and that is on his tile and the 3 tiles in front of him. So he will spend these 2 blue gems, guys, and he will hit me for 2 damage, all right? So I'm taking 2 damage. I'm down to 16. And then he has a Cursed Crystal, so that will end his turn, and he will take 1 damage going down to 5. All right, next up we have Lucky Skipper, all right? And then Lucky Skipper, all right, Lucky Skipper. So Lucky Skipper is doing a Shadow Fragment. We have another Shadow Fragment, an Orb, and a Gem. Okay, so he won't move at all. All right, he's got 2 blue gems. So this one says, Heavy Hand spend up to 2 red gems to deal 2 damage, 4 red gems to deal 4 damage, okay? We just have blue gems, so he does nothing, and then he gains these 2 Shadow Fragments. So he will gain 2 health, bringing him up to 8, and he gains 2 shadow energy. Okay, so that is 1 full turn sequence, guys. Again, some of these hex tiles, like the middle tile, is if you start your turn on that, you gain +2 health. So nothing to activate there. And then Lucky Skippers, he will, if you start your turn on this hex tile, you will add a gem to your resource pool, which wouldn't have helped him. And then when you are on, if enemies deal damage to you while you're on this tile, you will take no damage, okay? Which is pretty powerful. Okay, so now we're back to me. So let's see what I got here. So I start my turn on the Volcano, which is, I get a Shadow Fragment into my resource pool. All right, so I start with the Shadow Fragment. Let's go ahead, that didn't count, and see what we got. So I got a Shadow Fragment, a Cursed Crystal, I have a Gem, an Orb, and a Purple Orb. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is, let's see. I'm going to use the Curse Void to turn this Cursed Crystal into a blue gem. If I can find it. Oh no, I don't have a blue gem on here. I got to turn it to a purple gem. Do I not have a purple gem either? Oh no, I don't have a purple gem, so it's got to be a red gem. All right, red gem. So then I will, okay, I'm going to keep the shadow fragment. I got 2 swirlies. I think I'm going to spend a red gem and a blue gem to deal 3 damage to an opponent. And I'm going to deal to my friend Tusk Swiftwave here. So he will take 3 damage going down to 1. And he goes down to 1. And then I got 2 blue orbs. I don't have any enough for that. Okay, I'm going to re-roll this. I'm going to re-roll the purple dice. So I'm keeping these 2. Okay, so that was 1, 2. This is 3. Good. Okay, then I'm going to collect this Bubble Trouble. A purple gem is considered a wild, guys. So I will collect this Bubble Trouble card by spending... Oh, no, I need a blue. Oops, never mind. I can't do that. All right. That's very unfortunate. All right, so I'm going to move down here for my last action. So that should be them all, right? I used my Curse Void, I Spectral Slap, I re-rolled, and then I moved down there. Okay, so it's the end of my turn. So I have 2 Shadow Fragments here that I will collect, and I will also gain 2 health. So I'm back up to 18, collect these 2 Shadow Fragments, and we are on to Tusk Swiftwave's turn. So he starts his turn on the tile, so he gets 2 health. All right, so he's back up to 3. And let's see what he's doing. All right, so we have a orb, we got a shadow fragment, a orb, and we have another orb. Okay, so he will move onto the tile that I am on, and he has the bots, whenever they move onto a tile with you, you will take 1 damage. Another also special effect is that whenever they're on the same tile as you and they need to move again, they will just do a damage to you. Okay, so that's the move. Now we're going to go ahead and cast his Fatal Frond spell, which is deal 2 damage to an enemy on your current tile. So he'll do 2 more damage to me, taking me down to 15. That will do his gem. There's no gem, it's a free activation. He does nothing with this orb, and then he collects this shadow fragment. So he gets 1 health, bringing him up to 4, and he's at 2 shadow fragments. All right, and that is Tusk Swiftwave's turn. We'll move on to Talon Lightwave, guys. Let's see what we got. So we got a shadow fragment, a purple gem, a red gem, a orb, and a cursed crystal. Okay, so he keeps both of those. He's not moving. He gains 2 health, so he's back up to 7. Or he's at 7. Then he gets 2 gems. So what does this say? Spend up to 2 blue gems to deal. So he does not have 2 blue gems. So he will do nothing with his attack. He'll gain 1 health and 1 shadow energy. And then he'll lose 1 health for the cursed crystal. All right. That is Talon Light Feather. And then we're going to Lucky Skipper. All right. So Lucky Skipper has 1, 2, 3 gems, and then so he's not moving. The cursed crystal. All right, so this says spend up to 2 red gems to attack an enemy in range. So it's either on his tile or these 3 tiles, which I'm not in range. So that's lost. He does nothing there, and so we have a cursed crystal, which will have him take 8 damage, bringing him down to 7. Well, actually, he takes no damage. Because he's on that tile. Let me double check. Is it only when he's attacked? If an enemy deals damage to you. Okay, so no, he will take 1 damage. So he's going down to 7. All right. Now we go back to me. All right, so I start my turn with a red orb because of the hex tile that I am on. All right. Okay, so I got a shadow fragment, a blue, 2 of those, and an orange. Okay. So we'll keep this shadow fragment. I'll turn 1 of these into, use my Curse Void to turn it into a gem of my choosing. I'm going to turn it into a purple, which is going to count as a red. And so I'm going to use the purple as a red and the blue gem to deal 3 damage. Oh, but it's not on me, so I can't do it yet. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll move to this tile. Then I'll spend it, use it to attack him. So I'm dealing 3 damage to Tusk Swiftwave, bringing him down to 1. Okay, I got another cursed crystal, so that was one. That was my second. What does it say on his little tile here? If you start your turn on this tile. All right, nope. Okay, so then I'll protect myself. And okay, so activate, move, protect myself, and I got one more. I will pick up this shadow fragment for my last one, and then it's a free action to play these from your turn. So I'll go ahead and play this shadow fragment to add, well, no, actually, I'm going to keep it because I don't need it. So I'm just keeping that. So that is all 4 of my actions, guys. So that will end my turn. So I will gain, I will lose the rest of my resources. I gain my 3rd shadow fragment, and when you gain your 3rd shadow fragment, guys, you spend these to transform onto the other side. So I'm transforming into Nuzzle the Savage. Bringing out the wolf form, guys. Ah, woo! All right, you see him in his, he is ready to go. All right, so Nuzzle the Savage is out and he is ready, guys. But that is the end of my turn. So starting with starting with Tusk, he gets a red orb to start with. All right, so he's coming with a shadow fragment, a orb. What else does he have in there? He's got another shadow fragment, and I also forgot to heal myself for 1. So I'm 16 because of my last shadow fragment. Okay. So shadow fragments will keep. Gem, he does nothing. He will move. So he's going to move onto my tile. He'll deal 1 damage for moving onto me. Then he's going to activate his spell to do another 2 damage to me. So I'm down to 13. So that's that. He can't do nothing there. He can't do nothing with his gem. And so same thing with him. So Tusk is going to get 2 health, going up to 3. He's going to hit his 3rd shadow form and become Tusk the Tide Master. All right, bringing out his shadow form. This dude is trying to stab me with his nice little unicorn. So this is Tusk the Tide Master, guys. All right. He's got it at my neck. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. Look, I'm just playing, dog. I'm just playing. I didn't mean it. All right, next we got Talon Light Feather. Oops, go ahead and put that one in there. So Talon will gain 2 health for being on the middle tile. And let's see what he got. So we got a Cursed Crystal. We got a Shadow Fragment, an Orb, and we got 2 Cursed Crystals. Man, woo-wee, that is a rough roll for him. So he will do nothing. And then he's going to gain a shadow form and 1 health. And then he loses 3, bringing him down to 7. All right. So that is Talon Light Feather. And then we have Lucky Skipper. Let's see what Lucky Skipper. Man, they are killing themselves. All right. So he's got a gem and that. So he does nothing. And then he's got 3 crystals. So he takes 3 damage, bringing him down to 4. All right, back onto me. So a player starting their turn on this tile may spend 1 additional action point this turn. All right, so let's see what I got. All right, so I have a purple orb, I have a red gem, I have another red gem, I have a cursed crystal, and I have a blue swirly. All right, so I'm gonna use this card for free, which you can do, and collect a shadow fragment. All right, I'm gonna spend the shadow fragment and my 2 orbs to collect Sinister Screech. Okay, this says spend 1 cursed crystal to deal 4 damage to an enemy within range. All right, so this goes away, and then so that was 1 action. I get 1 additional action. So my second action is going to be moved to here. I'm going to spend this Cursed Crystal to deal 4 damage to anything in this range. So I'm dealing 4 damage to Tusk, the Tide Master, my guy, reducing his health down to 0. So he is out of there. And then, let's see, I got 2 gems. Let's see here. I also forgot, guys, that when you do turn into the shadow form, you will collect a companion. So let me go ahead and grab a companion very quickly. I'm going to grab the crushing tortoise. Each time you end your turn on the same hex there is an enemy, you may deal 1 damage to that enemy. All right. And then a new one would come out, and then I'm going to give the Cure Master Raccoon. Well, he's defeated anyway. But he would take the Cure Master Raccoon, and let's go from there. All right. So I really can't do anything else because I need a blue gem. Okay. So what I actually can do is move here and then end my turn. So Talon Light Feather will take 1 damage because of my Crushing Tortoise. And then it is Talon Light Feather's turn. So he will get 2 health for being on the tile, the middle tile. And let's see what he does. All right, so he gains an orb. He's got 2 gems. So what is his blue gems? Okay. He does not have blue gems. All right. And he's got a Shadow Fragment and a Cursed Crystal. All right. So nothing on the gems, nothing on the orb. Okay. He's got a Cursed Crystal and a Shadow Fragment. So he's up at 9. He'll get 1 reduced, but he does get 3. So he will turn over into Talon the Darkstorm, guys. So Talon the Darkstorm will come out. This is the exciting part of the game. And then he will get a companion. So the stag would be each time you cast an attack spell, you may spend 1 gem to deal 2 damage. So normally, guys, in the original solo mode, they would not get a companion. But again, this is just a house rule that I have made in order to help the flow or make the game a little more exciting, okay, for the solo mode. So that was him, okay? So he is transforming into Talon the Darkstorm. Now we got Lucky Skipper. All right, Lucky Skipper is, wow, that's rough. So 2, and then he's got 3 orbs, okay? So he is moving on to the same tile as me. So he will move here, and I will take 1 damage. And then, let's see, that is, what is Heavy Hand? Is spend 2 red gems. Nope. And then he will take 2 damage because of that. So 1, 2, back down to him. All right. So back up to me, guys. Let's see what we got. All right. I like it. I like it. I like it. Not really, but I get a Shadow Fragment. So 1 blue swirly. I get a Shadow Fragment or an orb. I get a gem. I get another Shadow Fragment and a blue gem. Okay. So what I'm going to do is use the purple as a red and do the... Well, I can't slap nobody, man. Snappers. Okay, so I'm going to move here. Oh, I start my turn on this tile. I get +2 health. Move here. I'm going to spend these 2 to cast Spectral Slap. I'm going to slap Mr. Lucky Skipper for 3 damage, taking him out. I'm sorry, Lucky. Taking him out. So that is my second action. And then I think what I'm going to do is move back onto him for 3. And then I'm going to end my turn. So Mr. Talon the Darkstorm will take 1 damage. I will collect 2 Shadow Fragments, giving me +2 health. All right. And I get 2 Shadow Fragments. All right. Moving back to Mr. Talon the Darkstorm. All right. Let's see what we got. So he's got a Shadow Fragment, a Cursed form, whatever. So it says, let's see... All right, so he gets 2 Shadow, 1 Cursed. He's got 2 gems. So spend up to 2 blue gems to deal 2 or 4 damage to an enemy in range. He does not have 2 blue gems. Okay, so he does nothing with his attack. He will gain 2 health. So back up to 9 and 2 Shadow Fragments. So his special ability, guys, is to spend 4 Shadow Energy to stun each enemy on your current hex tile. And then he takes a damage from that. But he also gains 2 health for being on the middle tile. All right, so up to me. I gain 2 health going back up to 8. Let's see what I got. All right, I got 2 Shadow Fragments. I got 2 blue orbs. And I got 1 red orb, man. Okay. Is there anything I can do, really? Turn 1 Cursed Crystal. Snappers. There's not a whole lot I can do. I'm just trying to 1v1 them at this point. So my orbs, I'm not going to spend. I'm going to keep my shadow fragments. Can't do nothing with... Actually, I can reroll. I keep forgetting I can reroll. So I'm going to reroll these 2 orbs. And I get a blue gem and a cursed crystal. All right, that's perfect. So that was one action, was to reroll, guys. My next action is I will move to this spot right here. I'm going to spend my red gem and my blue gem in order to spectral smack him. Spectral smack. So he takes 3 damage going down to 7. All right. And then I'm going to spend my cursed crystal on my sinister screech to hit him for 4 damage. Woo. Going down to 3. So he is at 3 health. And again, the range is right here in these tiles in front of me. And then I'll end my turn. So I get 2 shadow fragments. So normally I would gain 2 health. And then, but I'm at 18, so I'm capped out. I get 2 shadow fragments, so I'm up to 4. And I end my turn right where I'm at. All right, so then it is Talon, the Dark Storm's turn. He gets 2 health for being on the middle tile. All right, and then we're going to roll out. All right, let's see what he does. So we got gems. Does he have 2 blue gems? 2 blue gems. Okay, he's got 2 cursed crystals. Does not have the blue gems. He does only has 1 orb. So he will take 2 damage. All right. And that is his turn. All right. So then moving on to me, moving back to me, guys. We're going to go ahead and roll. And wait, he should have gained 2 health for being on that tile. All right. So moving back to me, immediately what I'm going to do is spend, take 1 action to spend all 4 of my shadow energy to do my roar attack. And I take 4 health. All right, bringing me down to 14, and I deal 4 damage to him. So bringing him down to 1. And then what I got is, I got it right here, guys. I'm going to use a blue gem and a red gem to hit him for 3 with a spectral slap. Slap him up, and then I'm over all the bodies. All right, guys, well, look. That is the solo mode of casting shadows. Look, again, guys, the game was not designed to be played solo at all, but it is still kind of fun. You know, you do got to add some house rules to it. Like, you know, I added in them being able to transform, them being able to take some of the companions, because that's not in the original solo version. So I think the solo version can work well. It just needs a little tweaking and some improvements. But my first impressions of the game are pretty cool. I like the game. It's basically a battler game, right? It's head-to-head. You're dice rolling, so there's going to be some luck. You're collecting spells, using the spells. I never really got to use any of the counterspell cards, but you can buy some counterspell cards by spending 1 shadow fragment, 1 orb, and 1 gem to get a counterspell card. And these things just like... For example, this one says, reveal this card when an enemy deals damage to you with an attack. You can reduce that damage by 2. So there are different ways to negate damage just like that. But overall, I think it's a pretty fun game, right? This is going to be that cool higher player count game at like 3 to 6 players. I think that's where it's going to really shine. But all right, guys. Well, look, I hope you enjoyed this playthrough and just a quick run through to see how casting shadows works. But all right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below, just about the game in general, right? Like, I know the solo mode is not great, but does this game interest you? Does it look cool to you? And as always, guys, hit that notification bell and subscribe if you have not already. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye.